10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Competition Plus Power Hour. Yes, it is on a Sunday night. Why is it on a Sunday night? Well, it has been 25 years. Yes, 25 big ones that Competition Plus has been in existence since Bobby Bennett had the idea to come up with something like this so that drag racing news could be brought to the masses without having to go search for it and send out a CIA party and a search party to go find it. Bobby, 25 years, man. That's incredible.
25 years. I wouldn't give us 25 days to make it. 25 hours was suspect, or as my kids like to say, is sus.
Yeah.
I guess nobody says the whole full words anymore. Like somebody's crazy, they're cray. Or the suspect is sus.
Yeah, it's wild.
Hey, look, this ranks right up there with one of my children being born, because Competition Plus for the last 25 years has been one of my children. So, do we have anybody in the
28 people watching?
28 people. How about that? That's about how many. That's about how many visitors we had for the first issue of Competition Plus that uploaded September 15th, 1999 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just wanted to say to you and Lee, who's traveling right now, we're working on trying to make this a national. God, I can't even get my hat right. There we go. Making this a national holiday, because this is a day that we officially broke the internet.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's a source of pride. And I'll be honest with you guys. I got to keep. I can't even see. Before I started this, I didn't even need glasses. So, so we got about 2 more minutes before we're officially 25 years old. So, any comments in the comment section? Any questions you got? That you guys are the reason I came here tonight, is because I so appreciate you.
Now, I want to know, where did the wild idea first come from when you decided that, hey, I'm going to start my own website. I'm going to try to get this news out because, A, no one else is doing it. And it's hard to find.
Yeah. So in 1990, and we're about 1 minute away here. So when we go to official 8 o'clock, I want you to hit the animated graphic and just blow up the screen here for a little bit.
I will.
All right. I'm at 7:59 now. Are you guys? Is that what you have? Yep. I don't know. Nobody's talking. You're just watching us talk, right?
Yep. That's it. You guys are more than welcome to comment and ask questions. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I would like to hear
how long this has been since, the inception of this thing.
Yeah, it's a funny story. I got 1 minute. Anyway, long story short, I wrote for the old Superstock magazine, which also had the tagline "and Drag Illustrated," not to be confused with anybody else out there. But there was a big magazine in the 1970s, and it's 8 o'clock. Go ahead and hit it. And we're officially 25, just like that. I used to work at the old Superstock magazine, and I was so frustrated because this internet was growing, and we were right around 1996, 1997, and nobody had anything. It was like a wild, wild west on the internet. So, and I just scored on my fantasy team. Sorry.
Nice.
Anyway, there was nobody doing legitimate journalism on the internet. So that's why we came out. We started looking at this idea, and a guy pitched me on the idea of doing a magazine with all that I knew. He said we can do it really good, really make a lot of money and all this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, I was at the race at Milan, Michigan, and a guy named Jeff Burke. I credit him. He came out with Drag Racing Online. He come and told me, he said, "Hey, bud, we're going to do this magazine on the internet thing, and we'd love to have you as part of our staff here." And I said, okay. Well, I remember how Jeff used to dog me out back in the day, and I figured, well, you know what? If this guy can do it, how hard can it be? So we created a magazine, and like within hours of one another, us and Jeff Burke at Drag Racing Online started. And of course, 25 years later, we're here. So that's how it happened. I was kind of ticked off, and well, got a wild hair up my rear end, and then, well, here we go. It was the greatest and the worst decision I ever made in my life.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's not easy work to start something. I also think back to those early days, because I remember I just stumbled up on Competition Plus because I was just searching. I didn't have cable. There was every blue moon I was able to catch a race that may have come on TV, and I stumbled upon Competition Plus. And that was at the same time I stumbled upon Joe with WFO. Those really were the only two things out there that really could give you some type of insight on what the heck was going on. And I thought it was pretty cool to be able to find that. And then when I show up here, I believe it was in 2015, most of you guys know that I do NFL, but when I showed up here to Gainesville, for my first time being and covering an event, and then to roll up and pull up beside that Competition Plus van was just like, wow, really? Like I'm really here. It has been pretty cool to watch the growth of what you've been doing since its inception. And you've had some great people along the way to help you. And man, I like I said before, guys like you paved the way for us to be able to sit here and talk on the Not Bland Show, on the Competition Plus Power Hour, to have guests, to be able to have these drivers on, to have these crew chiefs on. The inception started from hard work and the grunt work from the beginning to be able to build something like this to where it mattered to be able to do something like that. So yeah, it's if it doesn't happen, who knows where we'd be at as far as journalism goes when it comes to drag racing.
Well, that was a real goal, was to make journalism, official on the internet, just where you can believe what you read. And I had worked in the printing industry for years, and I saw that start to decline. And I just saw an opportunity there on the internet that we could present journalism like never done before. We could present the combination of TV, which we had video, we had sound for radio, and we also had the word, the written word. And used to, when we were on a printed deadline, we'd have 3 weeks, 4 weeks to put together a magazine. Well, now your next breath is your next deadline. So, I ran into some guys that were, like the printing magazine. Well, we've been in business for about 20 years. I said, oh, wow, we've been in business about 140 years. And they said, what? What do you mean? I said, because internet is like dog years. Okay, because every day is deadline. You don't have 30 days to ship a publication. You have right then and there.
Yeah.
So, and you know, this all comes at a big cost. At all a big cost, because
Yeah.
none of us will ever get rich with it. There's no retirement funds. What we have in the coffers is what we spend to make it happen, and we
Yeah.
do have to charge enough to pay our bills, but there's no retirement fund. I missed two kids growing up, and even though I was offered millions for the site, probably about 10 years ago, I turned it down because I never got into this for the money. I got into this to do the job and to do it right. And when we started, there was no manual. What what manual there was is what we wrote every day.
Yeah.
And so, uh, you know, I'm kind of disappointed. No comments coming in here. No questions from the
I know.
readers or anything.
I know. I
They're just let me talk.
I was thinking, what is in the 25 years? What's your um, one of your favorite moments within the 25 years?
Oh wow, one of my favorite moments. Gosh, there's been so many of them. Uh, so many. Uh, you know what? It's something so simple that's really meaningless to everybody else. But Roger Richards, God bless rest his soul.
Yeah.
That man stood by me when I wasn't worth standing beside, and he told me the one year we went to PRI, it only took us like 4 years. He said, "People know who we are now. We don't have to explain who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah.
People know who we are." And there was a lot of road running, a lot of just pouring your heart into this, you know. And one of the things I can tell you, I could probably count on one hand the number of advertisers that we had paying gigs. So I decided, and I won't mention the company name, and I won't mention the executive because he's still out there, and this company's still out there, and they
Probably a good
still,
idea.
you know, do business with me from time to time. But so I went to this company. I flew with my then partner because I was about broke, and he gave me some money. Just said he wanted to be partners with me. Tried to buy him out for years and never would take money. And then when he passed away, he just willed his shares of the company right back to me. So I mean, that just people don't do that these days. But anyway, he went with me to this sponsorship presentation, and you know what? I'm just gonna have to spill the beans who it was. It was Mr. Gasket. So I go into Mr. Gasket and I'm talking to the guy there, and I'm presenting. I said, I'd like to talk to you about my new magazine, Competition Plus. He said, Competition Plus? That name sounds familiar. So I went on. I said, we have advertising on the internet. You have unparalleled reach that you can get. And he said, Competition Plus. You know, we own Hearst, right? And I said, yeah. He said, I think we own that trademark to that name. And about that time, it had been 3 years of running myself broke, running all over the world, trying to tell anybody who would listen. I mean, I'd go up to strangers and tell them on the street who we are and how we were going to conquer the world. Says, yeah, I need to look at this trademark thing and talk to our lawyers and make sure everything's. I said, talk to your lawyers, what? He says, well, that's a trademark name. I said, so what you're telling me is you're going to take my name away? He said, well, no, it's just a trademark name, and I need to make sure it's all right. I slam my hand down on the fist, and if you ever watch that movie Tommy Boy, when he goes in and he has the meltdown,
Yeah.
that was me. Honest to God. And I said, you're going to take my name away? And he looked at me and says, Well, I said, well, that's just great. That's just freaking great that you're going to take my name away. I poured my heart and my soul into this. I'm going broke, and yet you're going to take my name. And my partner was over here. He was an older man, gotten rich in construction and everything. He kind of nudged me and said, Vern, what are we doing here? Because he called everybody. And I said, no, this guy's going to take my name. Well, you know what? Take it. It's yours. I give up. I quit. He said, hold on, calm down. I said, you know what? I've been running the roads for 3 years, abandoning everything, just trying to build this magazine. And you want to take my name away. He said, no, I need to talk to my. Well, you know what they're going to say. No. Well, let me hear your program. Let me hear what you got to sell first. Okay. And he said, it might not even come to that. I said, well, you've already planted the seed. And I said, well, this package that I wanted to sell you is $600 a month, but it doesn't matter because you're going to take my name away from me. This guy kept sliding down in his seat here. I thought he was going to push a button to call security on me. And he said, really, how's that work? I said, well, if he wasn't going to take my name away from me, you would get X amount of placements on these pages, and you'd be one of our official sponsors. But I guess that's a moot point now. He said, $600. I said, yeah, that's what it was going to be if I was still going to be in business. And my partner over there, I looked over here, and he's slinking down in the seat too. And this guy thinks I'm going to pull out a gun and start going to town on him. And he says, you know what? I think I'll try that package for a year. I said, what? He says, anybody that's got that much passion for what they do and it's not making any money, I want to help them make money. So you're not going to the lawyers. We'll just do this. And if something comes up, we'll just find a way to get you around it. You're buying an ad for me? He said, yeah, if you're still selling it to me. Absolutely. Here's a contract. And I threw it up there. And that was our first corporate contract. And it almost run us out of business.
That's incredible.
Hey, Scott, thank you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for giving us a comment. I was thinking it was just me and Dujanet talking and nobody was listening.
No, we got about 103 people listening in.
103 people. Wow. I didn't even think 103 people like me. Well, maybe they don't like me. Maybe Scott's the only one that likes me and everybody else is waiting for me to step on my toe. Anyway, hey, Dujanet, can you run the animated banner one more time? I just love seeing that. Dedicated to Roger Richards, and also Robert Jaramillo was our director of sales about 3 to 4 years ago, right around 2020, 2018, 2019, 2020. And unfortunately, he passed away from COVID. I survived, and it took him. And he was a big part of this too. And my buddy Roger Brogdon, he's always been one of my best friends in the world here, and been one of my best friends, one of my best supporters. And I'm talking moral support, emotional support. When I've been beat down, he's watched me get knocked down to the dirt and kick and crawl and pick myself up again. COVID was really tough for us. That was tougher than those first years because that nearly took us under. I said, and certain things happened. I said, gosh, I made it so close to 25, and I'm just we just keep moving. Now, some of you have seen our post on social media, and they're wondering what all that fuss is about. Something big coming. When it hits, you'll know it. What do you think, Dujanay? You think we ought to clue them in?
Hey, that's up to you. You the big man.
I'm not the big man. I'm just the idiot that people think like that. What do you think? Do you
I
think
think
the
we
folks will
should
be
clue 'em.
impressed?
I think they'll
Do you
be
think they'll
impressed.
be impressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you think it, remember the first time we met, and I thought you were Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. That was before the beard. That was before the beard, and I was probably about 40 pounds heavier.
That's when you guys you and your partner there wanted to write a book of one-liners for me on the back row behind you there.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes when you get in the press room and things are just not going right, and you get aggravated, you make some comments, and well, that's what did I say? Jesus, he does kind of look like. See, all I had to do was mention Stephen A. Smith, and it blew up the comment section. Hey,
Yeah,
thank you, Scott.
it's the hairline.
Mighty Mac kid, you're gonna. He doesn't look like Jesus Christ, but he does look like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, far from Jesus.
But all right, guys. Here, and for like people like Scott Purley, I read this book one time, and it was called "Who Moved My Cheese." Anybody ever heard of that book? Who Moved My
I heard
Cheese?
of it.
It's about when things are going your way, and all of a sudden somebody moves something that messes up your comfort zone, and how to adjust. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? People been moving my cheese for 25 years. 25 years.
Yeah.
And more times than not, it's made me angry, but then it's nothing like, anyway, show them what the mad scientists have been working on. And we're looking
Got
at
it.
Tuesday. They'll hear me while this is playing, showing, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen, I present to you the new Competition Plus. This is just a work in progress, a mock up, and so you can see what's coming. But the Competition Plus you've had over the years will not be the Competition Plus you see by the end of next week.
It's a good look. It's a really good look. Way to bring it.
Video, reader engagement. So it's not going to be the same as what it was, but I try to tell people it's like we've been running a Beretta and Pro Stock for 14 years.
Yeah.
Last 14 years. But now, since Pro Stock has become such a Camaro kind of guy, Camaro kind of class, I'm coming out with the first Cadillac CTS, 500-inch cubic inch.
Yeah.
500 inch.
It looks good. It looks good.
And you want to show it one more time?
It'll have easy access too, especially for fans. I know not everybody's like technology savvy and can find videos on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, but it'll allow you guys those who are not technology savvy, to be able to find the show right there on the site. A lot of good content will be easily accessible. Should work quite well with phones and your regular PC or your tablet. So, going to be a lot of cool stuff rolled out on this particular site, and I think it's going to be a huge help. And make things from Competition Plus a lot easier to access. So, yeah, bravo. It looks really good. And I'm looking forward to when it rolls out, and I'm sure the fans will be as well.
Well, the plan is Tuesday, but we got to make sure everything's working right. We got to get through this weekend's race, get all that stuff out there to where we can really focus on tuning and getting it up to speed. There will be some learning curves. Be patient with me. Hey, thank you, Boone, Mr. Boone, the other Mr. B.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, there will be some learning curves, but I'm gonna tell you what. Once we get this race car going from A to B, I am only gonna look. What we say down south is I'm gonna mash that gas till my foot goes through the floorboard. I can rock a little bit to get it go faster, but
Yeah.
the thing is we've been running at 40% of the horsepower in a Beretta for the last 14 years, and now we're going to be coming in big changes, big things coming. We're in the midst of compiling a sales staff. By this time next year, we should have a sales staff of 10 people selling and bringing revenue to Competition Plus to take it to the next third level. And when we go to a race, we're gonna bring a reporter for the website as well as a social media reporter. If you may have noticed at Indy, we had Nicole Erickson there with us, just slamming it on our social media. She was given times that she could do that, and then our regular magazine referral stuff. There were certain hours we did that so we didn't run into each other.
Right.
And that's some of the big stuff we got coming. Quarter mile classifieds, next level. It's going next level. And just wanted you guys to know that you guys are my family. I mean, there's been times I don't think that I've ever really taken a true vacation in the last 25 years because even when I was on a cruise, I was finding a way to a computer to work on the magazine. Even though my staff said, we can't sink the ship here in a week. I said, guys, that's not the right analogy to use here when I'm going on a cruise. But anyway, it's just, there have been so many people that have helped me along the way. I mean, I could start, but it'd take me 30 minutes to get through the first quarter of all those things. And you know who you are. And I just want to say thank you. You've helped the kid with a dream that lost his mother when he was 13. And a sport took me in and made me one of theirs. And yes, I'm getting right up there close to retirement age, but I do have a badass successor ready to follow in my footsteps. And you know him, you've seen him before. He's just working. He's just on vacation right now, but he's coming back. I'm just not ready to retire yet.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can do it, as long as you can, enjoy it.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot in 25 years in this sport. We were just talking. Me and Dave W were just talking. It's amazing to see and look back and see how many people actually were here for longer than what you thought. But it's also amazing and crazy that guys like Ron Capps, John Force, Jack Beckman, I'm probably leaving some out, that have been here for quite some time. And they were here when some of these other guys that we talk about and speak of that are long, since gone and retired and rode off into the sunset have been here, and they're still doing it.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing to see.
you look at kind of, sorry, my wife's calling me, but anyway, you look and see the quote, the comments like Paul has said, and like Kevin and Scott and Mighty Mac, those guys. We are a family out there, and we try to always lift everybody up. I mean, we're in competition, yeah, whatever, you know, but it's really a big family. And if those racers don't think us in the media are just as competitive as they are on the track, they better count their lucky stars. I never went drag racing.
Yeah. I'm a guy who races his own race. I think there's enough room on the track for everybody, and I just keep doing what I do.
I learned in life, and that's one thing that I learned playing ball. The coach kind of counseled me because my mouth would get I was kind of mouthy on the ball field, but there's a difference when you got a mouth running and you can back it up.
Right.
And I backed it up. I ran it, but I backed it up. I was Stevie Fast before Stevie Fast was Stevie Fast. so just random stuff, warming up for the game. Kid walks by on the other team. I said, y'all got a good team. And he's like, well, thank you. I said, y'all going to win a lot of games this year. And he says, oh, wow, thank you. Today ain't going to be one of
them. Yeah, that's kind
of.
And I like
that. And then didn't hurt things. I went yard on them a couple of times that day. But anyway, but it's like Coach told me, he says, when you whoop a man's ass, you ain't got to tell him. He already knows it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and that's why I wouldn't be a good racer, because I'd get out at the end of the track and let them know I did, just so they knew that I know.
Yeah.
Which puts you in kind of jerk territory, and I know that goes against my faith and everything, but you know what? I think even the disciples were competitive. Everybody's competitive. Sometimes competitiveness is a curse, but competitiveness is why I've stayed in this for 25 years.
Yeah.
To be the best I can be. And another thing, and I think that everybody that works in this industry should consider these words. If you consider an old, once gray-bearded man as somebody worthy of giving advice, if you're doing this for a living and you're out there and you're running the roads and you're missing kids growing up like I did, and missing time at home with family, then you owe it to them to be the best you can be. And I made that vow to my wife, some 21 years ago when we got married. I've been married to Competition Plus longer than I've been married to her. And told us that I'm not going out to the club drinking with the guys. I'm not going to strip clubs. I'm not going to any of this place when I get done with my work. Not that there's anything open when I get done or I have any energy left, but I owe it to you and the kids to be the best I can be. I may not be a racer, but if I tell the stories better than anybody else out that track, I won the race. And I intend to come back with a win. And I tell my girls in softball and some of the parents, we don't win a whole lot of games that I coach because I take developmental players and make them better. Right. I tell them, I said, look, I might not win on the softball field, but you won't ever beat me on the drag strip, at the drag strip. You will not beat me there. I promise you that. I don't lose there.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of that cockiness, but it's a bit of where I know my heart is. And eventually one day I'll walk away from the sport and I'll be done. I will put in my time. But when I do walk away, you'll know that I gave every bit that I had and I have nothing else to give. But I think I still have a good bit to give.
Yeah, definitely. And, the road was probably long and tough, but the reward has been great. And, um, it's just going to keep getting better from here. Uh, it takes a long time to develop relationships, and the relationships I know that you have within the NHRA, and with a lot of the drivers, people behind the scenes. You've seen a lot of folks come and go, and interviewed a lot of folks as well. Um, you know, it takes a long time. It takes uh, hard work to be respected among those individuals, because if you're not part of this business, you don't realize how hard it is, um, whether it's covering drag racing, covering the NFL, NBA. You know, some people don't have a moral compass and don't care about what it is, because they just are looking to uh, get likes and clicks to further themselves and to make money. But it takes a whole nother level to be able to um, be fair, be honest, obviously. But when it's all said and done, we're not out here attacking somebody's character or talking about their mama or whatever the case may be. It's all about whatever it is on the track and on the football field and their performance. And that's really all that matters. And it takes some hard work to stay within those lines, because it's very easy to take some things personal. And it's very easy to go down that snarky road, but tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And when you do that, people respect you for it. And Bobby, that's a big reason why you have the respect that you do. That's a big reason why you have the respect that you do amongst the peers out there in the NHRA. And I don't expect anything else less from you going forward. It's just going to get better, man. It's just going to get better. And I'm just appreciative of the opportunity to be able to share, and be a part of it. And, be a part of a ship that's been running for a long time. And I take a lot of pride in making sure when I come on here and do the power hour that I'm doing you justice.
Oh, that, dude, it's not every day you can say you got Stephen A. Smith doing your Power Hour show, but that's that's okay. I still can't say it, but anyway, it's I used to be a fan. Unfortunately, see, what people don't understand is that I didn't just start at Competition Plus.
Right.
I had 15 to 20 years before Competition Plus that I was working. I started working as a teenager for the major magazines. I started working in this industry as a teenager. I mean, people that have been in this industry as long as I have been, they're already in the Hall of Fame. That's because they started late. People like Del Worsham, Larry Dixon, myself. Lord, we wasn't far out of diapers when we got started. Even though they were in diapers when they started. I was 12 years old, but I went on a fast track out here, and I got to tell you, and I got to go finish up your Reading race coverage. But all I can tell you is, Dujanay, our readers, and everybody is watching this broadcast and have been a part of what we're doing here. All I can tell you is you better lock your belts down, because your blood hole's getting ready to suck a hickey in this thing. We are going for speed. We are making up for that 14 years of being behind in technology. And let me tell you something. They've taught me just enough on the new technology to be dangerous. And if you go look back at the Wayback Machine or the any of those old throwback deals that record, go back and look at the 1990 issues of 1999 issues of Competition Plus. When we started this magazine, we had to handwrite every bit of code on Notepad. It had to be handwritten. Every photo had to be inserted, all that. Now they push a button. Now they click the mouse or whatever, drag and drop. There's no drag and drop. You upload it to an FTP and you wrote code. So in this industry, I may play dumb like a fox, but I'm a lot smarter than you think I am. And that's okay. You look down on me at your own peril. Because
Indeed.
yeah, exactly. Mighty Mac. We had stars, we had music, we had video. We had video back in 1999. It was like a postage size stamp video. It'd take you 45 minutes to watch a 2-minute video. Buffering.
Yeah.
I don't know the dial.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And AOL and everything like that. That's why I still have the same AOL address. Since 1993, I have the same AOL address.
That's funny.
Because if it works, you stick with it. And if you see this over my back here, that's me once upon a time sitting on a Harley, shot by Roger Richards.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
You know, it's as I try to tell people, I missed 2 kids growing up. I had a heart attack, got diabetes. I put my father in the ground. I became a grandfather, became a great-grandfather. And I've had kids nearly die. I've through it all, Competition Plus was my center, my compass, my middle ground. And you guys were a part of that. I had the COVID, it nearly killed me. The heart attack, I thought that was it for me, but it wasn't. You know?
Yeah.
But it's been a ride. And I'm not finished yet. And my team's not finished yet. They're hard at work, many of them, or I'd have had many of them on there, but they're working to make sure you have something to read in the morning when you wake up in the morning or later on tonight.
Well,
thank everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. 25 years of Competition Plus. Bobby, continue to attack each day and each issue and each article with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And we're going to leave out here the right way, giving you something from our sponsor, Competition Plus Products.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S. Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away. Competition Products, race parts sold by racers since 1970.